This is a picture of Lord Byron, and right from the start you can notice he doesn't really look or dress like an Englishman in this picture. In fact, he is dressed in a rather exotic way. We'll find out why in a minute. Lord Byron was of noble origin. He descended from two aristocratic families. He studied at Trinity College in Cambridge, where he began to write. In 1809, he set out on his grand tour. It was a cultural thing, especially for members of English families, to travel the continent and discover and see and touch and feel culture. He went all the way to the Middle East, which connects to the way he was dressed in that first picture, of course. Byron here is wearing an Albanian dress. With his poetry, he became a literary and social celebrity. He became a literary celebrity with his poems. He became a social celebrity with his personality. One thing we can tell you now about Byron is that he was born with a deformed foot. His right foot was not straight, and so he could not walk well. But despite this, he insisted on trying all sorts of sports, and he was proficient in swimming, for example, and other sports.
There goes a legend, or it is true, I think, that once Lord Byron, a Trinity College student, took his beer and dived into the well, which was right in the center of the college garden. He was fantastically extraordinary. He refused to allow a physical disability to limit him. He refused a disability to be a limitation. And this kind of attitude, very competitive, made him very popular. In 1815, he married Annabella Miliband, another member of aristocracy. His marriage collapsed a year later because of his relationship with his half-sister Augusta Leigh. This was a huge scandal. Annabella Miliband was furious. She led the press against him. It was a disaster. In 1816, he simply decided to leave England, never to come back. He never returned to England. He lived in Geneva. Then Byron moved to Venice, and he began his masterpiece, Don Juan. In 1819, he moved to Milan, where he became involved in the patriotic plots against Austrian rule. He participated actively in rebellions and fights. He was fighting for ideals. He committed himself to the Greek struggle of independence from Turkey, and that's where he died. He was training troops, Greek troops, so that they could defend themselves. In 1824, he was struck by fever, and that's where his heart is buried, in Greece. The rest of his body you can find in England.